Hi, everybody. It's Sunday, April 27th at 4:46 a.m. Yeah, I had a hard time sleeping last night. Actually, the day before yesterday, too. So what I want to show you is everybody's talking about Pope Francis was the last pope due to the prophecy of Malachi, I do believe it is, Saint Malachi. And I guess Saint Malachi's got them all right, his prophecy right up to Pope Francis. Um, and then they said there's the evil ones coming after that. But like I was saying before, the evil one was never defeated since Jesus crucifixion. So it's kind of, and then remember Jesus saying he'll return in around 2,000 years to take out the principalities, the prince of this world. Okay, so with that background, everybody's got this notion that evil's rising up, right? Well, we can kind of see evil rising up, but evil's been, really risen up since the year of 2000 or 2001, we should say. Or if we look at the 90s, that's when rap come out, and rap is violence, hate, crime, murder, stuff like that. So if we look into the music industry to the world stage of what's going on and the people. So anyway, you'll see online people talking about this last prophecy of Malachi. But what I want to show you and remind you of is that Nostradamus, a great seer in time, Michael Nostradamus, has this as one of the lost book of images of the end times. Excuse me, got the burps. Let me try to zoom in on this. Even what they're talking about now is that the new Pope could the United States. So now I want to talk to you, and he's going to be younger, is what they're talking about, younger than the normal popes that go into office. So if you look at this image and look really close at this guy right here, this sheep that has lost his crown, it looks like Pope Francis. You see his face? Now, if you look right here, this guy is getting crowned by Archangel Michael. So he's younger, right? New and younger. So if you look over, let's see, the other images that are of this guy. Let's see. Where is, you can see where he's being groomed by a king. Right here. Well, actually, he's not being groomed by a king. These are the two witnesses. These are like two little men in cardinals on pillars. That's the guy. That's that guy. Right there in the center. And then the two cardinals. So he's being trained by two cardinals. Right here, it shows him as him being trained by a king, being led by a king, and somebody behind the bush. Remember, the bush is kind of like the burning bush. Now, on the image, but it shows behind this bush, there's an image from behind this bush, and it shows a cardinal or somebody that's pretty much taller. Oh, and here, this is a better image. This is the table that the two cardinals. So there's a lion right there. See if I can get it up in there. So this is the pillar, and this is kind of a lion's head. If I can try to move in on it. But it looks like a big table with, see how it looks like a cat's face? You got the ears right there. One of them actually makes it look like there's a lion's head, but that's like a cat. And now I'll show you what I mean by cat. Let me. And then we got Lord Jesus and Prince Michael. So notice he's got the shepherd's wand and he's got the axe. You know what they use that axe for, right? And then I do believe that's representing Father. There's Gabriel. There's the keys. I think that's representing the moon. Is on the right side of Father. If you look down at the image of Jesus down here, it shows he's the sun. You don't see the moon in this part. So it's quite interesting how they're saying that this is the last pope, but he was the last pope, but I don't think so. I think there's going to be another pope, and he's going to be younger, but everybody thinks he's going to be the Antichrist. I don't think he's going to be the Antichrist. I think the Antichrist the bad guy was the last two popes. I mean, if we look at Benedict and we look at Francis and the way they handled everything. Now, the green dragon, the tree of life, the serpent on the tree of life is the dragon, the green dragon. The green dragon represents yang. So if we look at yang, yang is kind of like the water. Yang represents rebelling and active, and yin is restricting, passive, or contradictive, or something like that. So if we look at China, XI is kind of like China's the red dragon, right? And I think the red dragon is also like represented as an X, right? And if we look at our DNA, we have the XY chromosome, which is very interesting because when you look at the for men, if you look at the Y chromosome, that could be as yang, because that's the fish pointing up, and yin is the, wait a minute, yin and yang. Yeah, because it reads it left to right, yin and yang. Yang, or yin, is pointed down. Oh, that's interesting, because I do believe China and Japan and them use yen as money. But anyway, say that really fast, but I just want to put out there that, this guy right here, this king with the open book, and that's the tree of life. In that book, if I can find it, it's right here. See his nails? That's him. His nails are cat's nails, cat's claws. And in the middle of it, it says in English, one male. And that's the tree of life. Isn't that interesting? So again, I'm going to put a video out saying, I think the next pope is going to be a younger pope. And I do believe he is going to come out of America. Whether people like it or not, they have to understand that God is, I do believe Jesus is the one who's making, I mean, if Archangel Michael's in there, then heaven's involved in this next pick. And that's why I was saying that no one looks at Nostradamus, because they don't seem to believe his end time images or his prophecies. It's really quite interesting because when you look at some of these images, you can clearly see that one that looks like Pope Francis. Now, where is... I'm trying to show you another one. But I don't see it in this selection. But anyway, again, I think it all has to do with one male and in English. So there's going to be an English male. Then that's the archer. You notice the archer is pointed at the two fish, which would be yin and yang. And then this is like a Bible or a book, the law of the land. I think that's a script, and I think that's a world script. The wheel keeps turning round and round. But anyway, that's my prediction. I predict it's going to be a younger pope than normal. Have a great day, everybody.